Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, depending on where you are. Thank you for coming to the Ties for the Fly Guy channel. I am your host, the guy with the fly ties. Now check that out. And check this out. This is a yellow right here, so I'm gonna rock some yellow, a little darker, but it's got that burgundy in there if you can check it out. It's got a little silver and white in there too, with more with more yellow surrounding that little silver and white. Y'all see that? Now check that yellow out up against there. All right, now this is the way we're gonna do it. We're gonna wrap this one up. This is episode 2, Thank you for coming in again and checking out episode 1 and say, you know what, I'll come back and check out episode 2. So what we're going to do is start up with a button down, you dig? Get yourself a button down. If you don't have one, get one. It's going to help us out a whole lot while we do our demo. Put your collar up. I have a necktie and I got 2 ends. One end is always going to be called the skinny end when I'm talking, or either the work end for today. And this will always be called the fat end, or today, the end that's going to be placed right at my belt buckle. Now, if you like your tie a little shorter, you can place it a little higher, whatever. I like mine somewhere right around my belt buckle, but dig this. The first thing we're going to do is remember the knot that we did yesterday called the Eldridge knot. Very popular knot. Lots of people know how to do it. However, today we are going to do a knot very, very similar to it. Exactly the same, other than we're going to give it a little volume or elevation. So this one is going to be called the elevated Eldridge knot. I've seen some people do this one as well, and if you do it right, like if I do it right today, we're going to have something extremely fresh. So take your fat end. I will always call it the fat end. Place it where you want to have your tie at the very end of your deal. Maybe just a little shorter, because when you adjust it, this fat end will become longer and hang a little longer. Grab your skinny end. Make sure you got everything. Nothing twisted or nothing like that. You feel me? We're going to make ourselves a dimple, just like we did yesterday. Now we're going to make a dimple. How do you make the dimple? Where you're going to take your index finger and put it right in the middle, right by your neck, maybe not all the way up here, but right around here somewhere. So when you adjust, you'll be up there. So you'll put your middle finger right there. Now watch how I'm doing it. Put your middle finger right there and pinch together. I didn't do nothing fancy. I just put my middle finger there and pinch that together. And that should create that nice dimple that we got right there. Now look at it. That's going to be nice. That's going to make our tie look like we did something fancy. It's called a dimple. It even looks like that at the top too, if you think about it. Anyway, let's go one more time. Fat end, belt buckle. Boom. Finger in the middle. Boom. 2 fingers on the outside. Pinch them together. That gives me a nice dimple. Now yesterday we wrapped this long end, or the skinny end, right around. And so it looked like this. We took it over the top and brought it right under like this. Now y'all remember that, right? To do the Eldridge. So we're going to do the same thing, because this is like an Eldridge, remember? However, we're going to elevate it. How do we do that, you say? Well, the guy with the fly ties is going to tell you. Now check this out. Hold that hold that again. And with this end, you are going to fold it. Now, this is the inside with the little seam, how they made it right there. However, we are going to fold the seam inside in half, like that. So it'll stay that way all the way around, but you want to make sure when you wrap around your dimple, you got half a tie, so to speak, looking, instead of the full demo. So fold it in half, and go around the front and under the back. Check it out. Same effect, except you guessed it, smaller demo going on right here. Now what we're going to do is the exact same thing that we did yesterday, was a repeat motion of up over the top and down through the neck. However, remember yesterday we did it with the flat side. Today we are going to do it with that crease, with that seam, this seam right there, folded in. So we're working with half the amount of space that we did yesterday. But we're going to do the same thing. We're going to keep it folded, go up over the top, and down through the neck. Now check that dimple out. That mug is still there. And look how it's still folded. You see it's folded up at the top right there? Now look at that. Folded, folded, folded. Not folded, not folded. You see where we're going with it, right? So what do we do from here? We're going to take this folded demo, go up over the top, keep it folded, and come through the neck again. I'm going to show you. Don't worry about it. Everything going to be chill. So what we're going to do is keep this folded and go up over the top. Now, when I'm going, I want to make sure that it's folded correctly so it doesn't look like a double demo like this. I don't want it to be like that. So I'm going to make sure that I got it folded the right way, all the way folded. So when I put it up and over, it'll look just like this one. And if it doesn't, I'm going to show you how to fix it. Don't worry, I got you. So we're going up again, through over the front and through the neck. Still folded, you see? Still folded. But now we got two. And you see how when we didn't pull it tight, you see how this part and this part looks more bulky and elevated? Don't worry, if you can't see it now, you will. The pattern may be throwing you off a little bit, but if it looks fresh, that's because it is. But don't worry, we almost done, because what we're going to do, the same motion again. Now, I'm not pulling this super tight. If I pull it tight, that makes it flatter, you dig? I'm keeping it open and elevated, right? But look at that dimple. Never mind. Keep it folded. We still got this folded, remember? I'm just keeping it loose because I don't want to go too tight because I want it as elevated as possible. So I'm going to go up over the top, again, up over the front, or in front, and down through the neck. Same thing. I just did it again. Feel me? And I'm trying to keep everything to where it's looks like one elevated instead of a lot of little layers upon layers. But look how I'm fixing it. See, what I'm doing is, you should be able to see the fatness from right there. You feel me? You should see how much fatter it was than yesterday. But, oh, no, we're not through. We're going to do it probably twice more. So what are we going to do, you say? We're going to keep it folded. And we're going to go up over the front and down through the neck again. Now, just in case you didn't see it the first two times, check it out. Up over the front. And through the middle. Through the neck is how I've been calling it now. That's just my third time around, but it's creating my layers, you feel me? And we're still folded over here. So since we're still folded, you guessed it. See how it's still folded right there? Even though we got a little bit of this left. Now I'm going to show you what we do with the little bit in just 1 second, because I'm going to go one more. I'm going to keep it folded. You right. I'm keeping it folded and going over the front or the top, you feel, or the middle, and down through the neck, keeping it folded. Now I'm just holding it with this hand, but I'm pushing it with this hand. So the reason I'm holding it, so I can stay fly. It's the, I'm the guy with the fly, ties and stuff like that. So with this right here, this empty part, first of all, can you see how elevated that is now? How bulky that is now? Can you see the layers? Now you see that real close? You see where it looks like I got a little double layer right there? I'm gonna fix that. I'm just gonna adjust it a little. Adjust my fold. And then I'm gonna adjust my fold on that top one too. Boom, bam, bing. But look how crownish and elevated that thing looks. Now, if you haven't subscribed, I feel like you subscribe, and then we keep doing this kind of stuff, and then no matter, no telling where it's gonna take us, but check this out. Since you got this crazy little thing jumping off, what you're gonna do is just bring it up over here and tuck it in there. And once you put your collar down, you won't be able to see that. Now let me show you how I'm gonna demo it. I don't wanna pull it too tough because I wanna keep this loose. Why? My volume, my my elevation. I want that elevation. So check it out. I'm just taking it up like that and tucking it right in there. You see that? Do that look difficult? Do it look difficult? I just took it from where it was and tucked it in there. All right, so what you gonna do now? Well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my collar down, you did? Now watch this. Watch how once I put the collar down, everything pops out, you understand? Look, first of all, look how fat it look already before I even get this side down. Gotta fix the back, of course. You don't wanna look like too much of a Poindexter, as I always say. Now this is just me fluffing her up a little bit, pulling this edge outward that way, since I know it can't come loose because it's just one thing over and over and over again. So really, this one going through there and wrapped up is the only one that if I pull, this demo will come loose. Y'all just seen it, so you know what I'm saying, right? This is the elevated Eldridge, and I like it, man. I ain't even gonna front. So I can adjust if I need to pull it up a little bit. Look at that. It rocks out the way it's supposed to. It does its job. All right, y'all. Thank you once again for coming to the Guy with the Flies Ties channel. I'm your host, Guy with the Fly Ties. Check me out anytime. This is the elevated Eldridge. Check out that oomph on it. You see it, don't you? You see how, look at that side action. You see how that side action is just jumping out at? It's jumping out at the people. I'm gonna loosen this one up a little bit, this top one. I wanna give it some pizzazz. And then I'm gonna pull that one again that I've been fixing the whole time. And tuck him. Oh! There's the little one down there at the bottom. Don't forget him. Don't forget him. Now go back to yesterday and look at that Eldridge knot and see how the similarities of this are exactly the same. However, the differences are just this one being something that's much more bulky and much more elevated. I'm gonna put a sweater on over this, I'm sure, because we're in Colorado, so it's still a little chilly. Ties for the Fly Guy channel. Thank you very much for coming in. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. I am your host, the Guy with the Fly Ties. Elevated Eldridge. In that order. Peace.